નમસ્તે, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી.
Hello students, today we are going to learn standard 6th subject English unit number 4th Trace to Treasure. In our previous videos we completed activity number 1 to 5th. Now in this video we have to do activity number 6th onward. As you know student, in our activity number 2nd and 5th we studied about a new dish part 1 and part 2nd. Now based on that we have to complete our activity number 6. So let's start it. Activity number 6th is given here. What is this? We have to understand about it. The story told how the cook created avial for the first time. In our previous activity, activity number 5th, we studied about a new dish part 2nd. In that part 2nd, we studied about a new dish invention. It is known as a avial. Okay? Here the story told how the cook created avial for the first time. The cook did not have a recipe, but cook have not a recipe. Earlier he not created any type of new dish like that, avial. So avial's recipe is not that with cook. A recipe is a list of instruction for making a food dish. What is a recipe? Here definition of recipe is given. Recipe is a list of instruction for making a food dish. Here recipe means what? It is a list of instruction for making a food dish. How you can make a food dish? It's a one type of recipe. As you know about recipe, at your home your mother will also use recipe to make a new dish. So here head cook have a not a recipe related to avial. Recipe is list the ingredients. In recipe you see that list of ingredients is given. Ingredients means what? Ingredients means a food that is used with other foods in the preparation of particular dish. For preparation of particular dish, what things we require, it is a one list is given here. It is known as a ingredients. The food is used to make the dish and the method for cooking it, it is all are known as a ingredients. The foods used to make the dish and the method for cooking it, all the included in recipe. For example, here is a recipe. For your understanding, here one recipe is given here. We have to understand about that recipe. What is this? We have to understand about here. Here ingredients and amounts given. Here ingredients, which types of things we require to make that dish, and amount of that things is given here. Serves one person. Here for only one person's dish is prepared here. For only one person, which things and how much it require, all the things is given here. First one is there, dried pasta. Here dried pasta is given. Dried pasta how much require? 3rd by 4th cup require. Okay, dried pasta. Then butter, next ingredients is given here. Butter, 1 tablespoon butter we require to make that pasta. Then Amul cheese spread. Amul cheese spread require 2-3 tablespoon we require Amul cheese spread. Next thing we require to making a pasta, milk, 1/4 cup we require to make a pasta. Milk require 1/4 cup. Then after salt we require pinch, means chapti bhar meethu. Can you understand? So here all the things is given to make a pasta dish for one person, only for one person. So ingredients and amount is given here. Ingredients is given here that side and amounts is given here opposite side. So now next thing is their method. how to use that ingredients and amounts and make a pasta. Here method is given, we have to study about it. First thing is that boil water in a large pot. First what we have to do to making pasta, take a large pot. In that large pot boil water, add pasta, salt and a small amount of the butter. Now what we have to do, add pasta in that boiled water, then salt we have to add, and a small amount of the butter we have to add here. All the things we have to add in a large pot boiling water. Now next step is given here, cook pasta till tender. Cook pasta, boiled pasta till it's become a tender, means soft, it's become a soft. Now drain the water. After that tender that pasta, we have to drain water. પાણી કાઢી નાખવાનું. Drain water. We have to drain water. Now third step is given here. Add butter. Now we have to add in that pasta butter, then milk and cheese spread to pasta. All the things we have to add at the pasta. Heat gently until butter and cheese melt. Now we have to heat that all the mixture till when butter and cheese melted, till we have to make a heat, give heat to the pasta. Now fourth one, serve hot. Now after completing that pasta recipe, we have to serve as a hot pasta to anyone. Okay, here our pasta making recipe is given here. Method, how to cook pasta. Can you understand, student? Here all the things is given. Now what we have to do? Now read and discuss this recipe with your classmates. Decide together, what do you think this recipe makes? Read and discuss the recipe with your classmate now. Decide together, what do you think this recipe makes? Now what do you think this recipe makes? So I give answer here to your question. You have to write these question answers in your textbook. First of all, it is innovative idea which helps make this recipe. First of all, recipe give innovative ideas to us. It is the experience of the cook that counts, because otherwise the proper proportion of ingredients may not have been possible and it would have turned to be an eatable with bad taste. If we don't have a method and ingredient with us and we just try it without any ingredients and method, now what's happened that maybe that dish become properly, but we did not get proper taste. So with that method and ingredients we make proper dish to eatable and tasteful. Can you understand, student? Now next thing we have to understand. Now read the story, the new dish, carefully and show your understanding of the story by creating a recipe for everyone. Now read once again the new dish part 1 and part 2 carefully and show your understanding of the story by creating a recipe for avial. Now you have to create the recipe for avial making. First list the ingredients, then the method that the cook used to create the dish. First you have to make a list of ingredients which things you require to make avials. Then the method. Then after you have to write method how to cook that avial. Okay, you will need to invent the amounts, and you will need to invent the amounts how much things you require. You have to make a list. Be sure to include enough ingredients for the king's feast, and be sure to include all the things ingredients for king's feast, not for only one, but all the guests, important guests you have to make avials. So for all the king and king's important guests you have to make avials. So here ingredients and amounts is given. Serve one king and all is important guest. For what? How many persons we have to make that avial? For one king and all is important guest we have to make. So that things we require like that. Here I make ingredients list and how much it require, I make also list here. You have to just complete it in your textbook. First, dried pasta we require, barabar. Dried pasta here, dried pastas, for example, you have to make a pastas for king and all his important guests. So first take dry pastas. How much dry pasta require here? Dried pasta require 30 cup, because think about that, 30% is there. Then we require 30 cups dried pasta. Then require butter, 10 tablespoon butter we require to make that pasta. Then Amul cheese butter spread we require 25 tablespoon Amul spread, cheese spread we require. Then after we require milk, 8 cups milk we require to make that pasta. Then salt, 30 grams salt we require. 30 gram salt we require. So all the ingredients and amounts I write here. You have to write in your textbook for king and his important guest. Now method we have to write. Write method how to make your pasta. Write method yourself. We completed method in upside. Just you have to see that recipe method here we completed, and you have to write here your method for making a pasta for one king and his important guest. You have to write method here. Okay, I don't write here, just try it yourself. Okay, now next thing we have to understand here, our activity number 6th over. Now activity number 7th we have to study. Activity number 7. You have read a story about making a new dish from waste scraps of vegetables. You studied that making a new dish from a waste scrap in our activity number 2nd and activity number 5th. A new dish part 1 and part 2. Now next thing we have to do one more thing here in activity number C. See here, one picture is given. You have to observe that picture carefully. You have to observe that picture carefully. And now what we have to do? Let's think about this some more. Now let's think about more thing. First, look at the picture and imagine shopping for a big birthday party. And look at that picture and imagine that you have a big birthday party and you have to make a shopping for that birthday party. Pretend you have all the money you need for a big party, and pretend that things you have a much money with you to make a big party. Work with a group or a partner to name all the things you would buy. Work with your group with your classmate and make a list of things which things you buy for your birthday party. So you have to make a list here. Just there are not enough space to write answer here. So I give answer afterward at last of our videos. Just you have to make that questions list, answers list in your fair notebook. Just I speak here, just listen me. For my birthday, I would buy festoons, color ribbons, balloons, paper caps, whistles, candles, cake cutting knife, flowers, gifts, chocolates, LED lights, thermocol cuttings, thermo balls, aluminum foil, glitter, etc. things I buy for my birthday party, for my birthday celebration. So I make a list here. Now what we have to do? Now work together to imagine all the things that would be left over after the party. Think about that after completing your party, birthday party. What things left over, remaining? Which type of things remain after completing your party? Name as many things as you can. You will need a big list for the next activity. Make a list here which things left over after completing our birthday party. So I make a list here. Just see. Leftovers after the big birthday party. So I make a list here. Leftovers after the big birthday party. First one is there, left after birthday party is there, chocolate wrappers, What's left now? Chocolate wrappers, then festoons, then ribbons remain them, paper caps also there, half burnt candles is there, then LED lights is there, then aluminum foils remain, burnt candles also there. All the things we can reuse the. Okay, after completing party, that types of things remain. Okay, chocolate wrappers is there, festoons, ribbons, paper caps, half burnt candles, LED lights, aluminum foil, burnt candles, all the things remain after completing our party. So we can use that all the things in our next activity as a reused. Can you understand, student? Here our activity number 7 over. Now we have to do activity number 8. In the last activity, you and your classmates made big list of things left over after party. In the last activity means activity number 7. Just we completed list of the leftover things here. Okay, so use that things. Compare your list to other list in the class. Now compare your leftover things list with your classmates. Did you forget something that another classmates listed? Can you forget something from that list your classmate make? Add it to your list if you need to. If required, then add it to your list also. So here I added. What you added in your list? Thermocol cuttings remain. You don't added in your list that thermocol cuttings you don't added. So add in your list. Then paper and plastic whistles. Then paper and plastic whistles remain there. Okay. Then thermoballs or remain there. So add that things to your list we make in activity number 7. So I added thermocol cutting, paper and plastic whistles, thermoballs to my list. Can you understand, student? So here our activity number 8 also over. Activity number 8 also over. So here in that we completed activity number 6, 7 and 8. Remaining activities we have to do in our next videos. Students, unit 4 trace to treasure, activity number 7th, one question arise. I speak only answer. Just you have to write that answer in your fair notebook. So give heading after activity number 5th, give heading activity number 7th. Then write question, work with a group or a partner to name all the things you would buy. Which things you have to require in your birthday. You have to make a list. So I make list here. You have to complete all the list in your fair notebook as a question. Activity number 7. Okay, student?
Thank you for joining us